Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Tuscaloosa Historic Preservation Commission hearing. Today is January 14th, 2026, and the time is 5 o'clock p.m. My name is Jordan Morris, and I am the Vice Chair of the Historic Preservation Commission, and I would like to ask my fellow commission members to introduce themselves, beginning at my left, please.
Cooper Shattuck.
Matt McCool.
Wayne Yarbrough.
Tricia Stone.
I would also like to introduce our city staff in attendance with us tonight. They are Mr. Hudson Cheshire, Associate City Attorney, Mr. Josh McKinney, Zoning Administrator, and Ms. Cynthia DeSantiago, Planner. The purpose of the HPC is that we serve to preserve and protect the buildings, sites, and structures of historic significance and interest in Tuscaloosa's historic neighborhoods. We are governed by Chapter 20, Article 2 of the Code of Tuscaloosa, which includes design guidelines that are posted on the city's website. Our decisions are based on those design guidelines and do not consider use or occupancy. We do consider such factors as architectural style, appropriateness of materials, and how the structure relates to other structures in the immediate neighborhood in determining the appropriateness of the application. Any approval of an application requires 5 affirmative votes. If the certificate is approved, please be aware that there will be a final inspection by city staff of approved applications to ensure compliance with what was approved by the commission. This is a public hearing. It is televised live on local cable, streamed online through Facebook, and is being recorded to be posted on the city's website. We ask proper decorum, civility, and respect for others at all times. Prior to this meeting, notice was sent to the adjacent property owners, and the public has been notified of the applications to be presented tonight. This hearing is a chance for the applicant to present his or her case, for the public to make their views known about the project, and for the commission members to gather relevant facts about the application before making its decision. City staff will introduce the application. The applicant will have a chance to make any comments. Commissioners will then have an opportunity to ask the applicant questions about the case. I will then open the hearing for public comment. At the close of public comment, the commission will then discuss the matter and vote on the application. A notarized designation of agent form should have been provided to city staff for any representatives of an application that are not the property owner or an immediate family member of the owner prior to tonight's hearing. Immediate family members, those are defined as a spouse, parent, or child, do not have to provide such written authorization when speaking on behalf of another immediate family member. We remind applicants to leave the signs in the yard as staff will be out in the next couple of days to pick them up. The commission members have had a chance to review tonight's agenda items. Do any of the members have a conflict of interest as defined by Section 6 of the commission bylaws with any of the items? Hearing none, I would like to ask the staff if proper notification has been provided for each of the agenda items.
It has.
All right, we'll move on to the first case.
Good evening, Commission. This microphone. Can y'all hear me? I'll project my voice. So our first case tonight is HPCO 126, where Sean Collar is petitioning for a certificate of appropriateness for a material change to the windows at the property located at 412 17th Avenue in the Pinehurst Historic District, Council District 4. So here's an aerial view of that property and where it's situated in its historic district. Here's a view of that property from the street, the adjacent property to the south, to the west, and to the north. So the petitioner is proposing to replace 3 windows on the primary structure. The existing windows are wood, and the proposed windows are Fibrex. They're also proposing a change in the light pattern, going from an 8/8 to single pane windows. Here are those 3 windows proposing to be changed. They're at the back of the primary structure. Here's the spec sheet for the window to the far right, that middle window, and then that left window. The materials are Fibrex windows. Here are the applicable design guidelines for windows and the materials. We received no public comment on this case. Are there any questions for staff?
I don't believe so. I would like to invite the applicant or applicant's representative to come forward. Please state your name and address for the record, please.
Sean Collar, 3309 Cahaba Heights Road.
Is there anything that you would like to add to the staff presentation?
I don't think so, not at this time.
Hearing none, we may call you back up during discussion for any additional questions. Are there any questions for the applicant from the commission? Hearing none, I would like to open the floor to public comment. All right, I'll close the floor to public comment. And was there any public comment submitted?
There were not.
We'll open this up to public or to commission discussion. There's a change in the light pattern. That's a fairly major change that we've had some issues with in the past. That's the first thing that I kind of see here. And then there's been the ongoing discussion about FiberX as material.
I can't remember, what's the Fibrex material? Is it similar to something that we've approved in the past?
So the FiberX is a vinyl composite type material
Okay.
that is mostly, it's a majority vinyl, is my understanding.
Didn't we discuss FiberX in November as part of, and we allowed it
So
for a project because it was basically grandfathered in?
it had already been installed on that structure for the majority of windows, and it was the remaining windows that were approved.
I don't know what other options beyond, what is it called, the Anderson Acclaim window? I think that's the series, right? Acclaim, and then it's made with FiberX. I don't know what options above that, but it seems to me that the light pattern is an issue. I think that we have also discussed and not allowed, but I have an issue with FiberX in that we have not approved it in the past, except for that one example, because it was grandfathered in. So I think, I mean, if it's vinyl. It is basically, it's not called that on the spec sheet, but I think that is what it is. And I don't know what other alternatives there may be out there, but maybe the petitioner can tell us.
Any other comments? Would you like to come back to the podium, please?
So I guess first thing, we did get an approval. This is a second phase. In October of 2024, we received approval for this address. It was a single window that was installed. They're coming back and doing the next three. Addressing Fibrex as a material. So it is 60% polyvinyl chloride, okay? It is 40% wood. The material, the windows are constructed just like a wood window. So they are mortise and tenon jointed. And they do not have welded corners, bolted corners like a fiberglass window, which is on your approval sheet, or similar to, say, your All Seasons, which is a cellular PVC material. We can split hairs, it's PVC and vinyl. Vinyl is PVC, PVC is vinyl. How much of that is virgin vinyl? That's what determines, whether material is PVC or not. I do want to seek to get approval for Fibrex as an accepted material. We are an accepted material in hundreds of historical commissions across the country, including Birmingham. We have an extensive reach. Anderson is obviously the oldest and largest window and door manufacturer in the country. I imagine we will continue to be before you, proposing our case here. If the committee is interested in, if the main goal is to retain the wood window look, I can point again to the all seasons windows, which do not look like wood, which makes it a superior material aesthetically to that choice. I think as technology continues to progress, there are more and better alternatives to wood because of obviously the nature of wood nowadays. I would like for the community to be open-minded to accepting new materials, as you have with the All Seasons, the Monarch vinyl-clad window, the Herd vinyl-clad window that mimics wood. And if it seems to me that the aesthetics is the most important part to all this, you can correct me if I'm wrong. And again, I can show you some actual pictures of exactly what the window looks like if you like. And I can field any questions you might have as well.
What is the position related to the light pattern?
Sure. I completely understand that the light pattern would probably need to be modified per probably the original design that was that's shown that they have, so which we can do for sure.
Is that an agreement to modify the petition? So,
Oh, yes, certainly. Yeah, whatever modifications would need to be done to that, for sure. Mm-hmm.
The October 24 approval, was that for windows as well, or was that for something else?
Yes, sir. It was,
And,
correct. That is all that Renewal by Anderson uses. We also received an approval in October. Well, I think you referenced a case from not too long ago where there was that original approval came in 2021. Those are the two that I can point to. How many other times we've had it approved, I'm not sure. But I know that there's those two previous occasions.
So I'm understanding that previously in 2024, FiberX windows were installed on this property? And do we have, was that on the application anywhere?
On our application,
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
That case wasn't cited in the packets, no.
Okay. I do have that verification if you wanted it or needed it.
I know that we were able to allow kind of the grandfathering of the other structure. This is one window that has been allowed here. We've kind of, over the course of the last year or so, we've kind of gotten to the position, and again, the reason it is a commission with 5 members present tonight, 9 total, is that everyone has their interpretation of what the guidelines indicate. So that, where that is, I'll go on the record specifically saying that this is my least favorite part of the entire set of guidelines as far as clarity. And for some reason, this is the one that we seem to have the most cases related to. So anyway, that is mostly an aside. So I think that it needs to be left to the discretion of the commission member and their position as related to whether they feel that FiberX is a vinyl material and inappropriate or is in a different category. And it's not for me to state. The agreement related to the light pattern alleviates that that concern for me, if it's maintained in the same light pattern as the existing.
If you will, Mr. Morse, just to get some clarity, the Fibrex window that was approved in 2024, that Fibrex was the material that was specifically approved by this commission on this house?
Correct.
Any other comments?
My thoughts are, since it's already been approved last month in October, I'm okay with the Fibrex, but I would like to see the light pattern stay the same. Original.
And if there's any information that you may need from us in regards to the material moving forward, be more than happy to provide whatever you need to make a decision, so that we are included on this list.
All right. Thank you. All right. Are there any other comments or questions related to this before we call for a vote? We have a standing motion to approve.
If it had been approved in 2023, is that what you said? 23? 24. I mean, that certainly makes it comparable to what we voted for in November on the other property. I'm not disputing anybody's word on it. It's just that was new information. So I assume that is the case. It would have been great if if the applicant had put that on the application so we could reference it. As far as Fibrex and is it vinyl or is it not, I mean, I'm not a window expert, and I don't want to make a decision tonight to allow something in that I'm not really sure what all the difference is. Kind of point to you, because in your profession, you do have more of this specification knowledge.
I would, if I may.
Absolutely.
Just say this, I don't think that's before us. I don't think it would be proper to be before us to amend the design guidelines.
No, that's.
Right, so I'm fine voting, I'll just say, I'm fine approving this based on the fact that they've already had a Fibrex window approved before, but I would not read into that we are changing the guidelines, because that's not before us.
Totally agree, and I think that's where I'm coming from, except that it was just announced to us that it's been approved before. I mean, I have no
Yes.
reason to think that somebody's, pulling the wool over our eyes. We're not going to go all over there and see the window and verify that, but, I agree. The precedent was set in November to allow something to be grandfathered in that was disputed as far as the material itself. And this does open the conversation up. I've talked about it this week through email exchanges about how do we come up with even if it's an Excel spreadsheet of all these different windows that we seem to always, because it's like every month I feel like I'm having to become a window expert. So I take your position on this case versus changing the design guidelines.
Yeah.
Mr. Cheshire, because of the agreement related to the modification to maintain the light pattern, do we need to have a separate motion, or can we utilize our standing motion to approve?
I think a separate motion would be appropriate and just clarify exactly what's before the commission.
I would move to approve the petition with the amendment that the light pattern will reflect that is on the existing windows, and based upon the understanding or the representation that Fibrex has been approved in the past for installation on this house.
Do I hear a second?
I second it.
We have a motion and a second. With that, I will call for a vote, unless there's further discussion. Voting beginning on my left, please.
Yes.
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 Your motion has been granted. If anything changes, please let city staff know.
Kind of to your point, so what would be the process to get on the list? Would it be just a case-by-case basis as we come in front of you, or is it, might it be a separate process?
Please consult city staff related to the process for that.
Okay.
Okay?
All
right.
Understood. Thank you, guys.
That was our, so your motion has been granted. Any changes? And that concludes the cases to be heard tonight. We have no other business. I do want to recognize Matt McCool, as this is his last meeting of his term, and he'll be rolling off the commission. So thank you for your service.
All right. Thank you.
And with that, this hearing is adjourned.